gray, and I'm so grateful that y'all decided to join me today. This week we've been learning about the Good Samaritan, but I'm gonna color with crayons today, so go ahead, pause this video, click the link and the email, and print out the picture before we get started. The picture you see right now is the final picture that we will have colored today. Alright guys, so we've been learning about the Good Samaritan this week, and it's a great picture and it's a great idea of how we can be friendly to everyone around us. And Jesus tells this story about how we need to love our neighbor as ourselves. And so that's why we have a heart with arms out today. We have to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. So this is the heart loving its neighbor. So we're gonna get started. I have 6 colors today. I have black, dark blue, a teal color, light pink, red, and dark pink. Just for some different shading ideas, you can have different colors. And again, we want to remember that if you press down hard on the paper, the color will come out darker than if you press lightly on the paper. So if you don't have different shades, you can press differently on your paper depending on what color we're using. All right, so we are going to start with the eyes, and we're going to take our black and just color in the pupils of the eyes. And I like to do it in little small sections at a time, just to make sure I get it all together. So I will do little circles to help color in. And I'm kind of pressing hard because I want it to be a black color, because like the inside of your eyes, it's black and not really a gray color, which is what you would get if you press lighter. So with crayons, it kind of like gives a little wax, like extra, you know? So I'm just kind of blowing it off. I don't really want to put my hand on and wipe it off, because sometimes that smears the color where I don't want it, and we don't want to do that, right? Alright, so now we're going to do the dark blue, and we're going to do the same kind of circles that we did for the pupil. We're just gonna go in little circles all around the eye. It's okay if there are some white spots still there, because we're gonna go back over with the teal color just to give it some different depth and different shading in the eyes. But we are gonna go back over with the teal color and color it a little bit differently. That'll cover up all of the white spots, you know? We're just doing big circles. Circles help us like color it all in, and it gets more coverage a little bit faster. I'm pressing kind of hard, but not too hard, you know? All right, let's get this teal color and just color in. You really want to focus in on the white spots that you missed when you were going around the first time. And it's okay if you color a little bit into the black. It shouldn't show too badly. It really shouldn't show at all, actually. And if it does, you can just color back over it with the black. It doesn't matter too much. So we just got our eye down. Now, if you want, you can take another darker blue and you can do the same lines outward as we did with the fish. Last week with the fish and the 5 loaves of bread, you can do little lines out instead of doing circles, but for the sake of time this week, we're just doing little circles. There we go. So you see we have like different colors in it, and we left these white spots blank because they're meant for a reflection, just like we did last week with the fish eyes. That's how you can like give a different depth to your heart. If you want to give your heart little eyelashes on the side, you can, if your heart is a girl. I'm just gonna leave my heart for now. I think it looks good. All right, so the next color we're gonna do is we're going to do our dark pink color. Now we're gonna do the dark pink color on the entire perimeter of the heart, except for the arms. We're not gonna do the arms this dark pink color, okay? But it's not like a big perimeter. We're kind of just shading it. So a light press, it's not a hard press, right? And you can rotate your paper, that might make it easier. Just a light press, pretty thin line. Just like that. Guys, today is such a pretty day outside. It's been a really pretty week weather-wise, just because it's been so light outside, or it's been like so nice and it hasn't been hot or wet. It's been nice and cool. I really am grateful for that, because I used to live in Florida and whew, it was hot all the time. Under the arms, we're kind of giving it a bit more shading, just because the arms are kind of covering up a little bit of it. So we want to make sure that we represent that and shade that properly. Almost done with the border. Now, when you paint, you have to be careful where you put your hand on the paper or on the canvas, because you don't want to smear the paint. But it's the nice thing about coloring with colored pencils or crayons, is you don't have to worry about where your hand is, really. Alright, so now we're going to go to the red color. Now we're going to do the red color for the entire inside of the heart. And so I'm going to go a little bit faster, and you can go ahead and pause this video if you want to. But we're just going to color it in like we did with the outside layer, but kind of for the whole thing, and kind of smaller strokes all around. So like this, just back and forth lines, and you want to try not to overlap because it'll give it a different color. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster, but you can pause this video if you need to, or you can try and keep up. Alright, so we finished coloring the whole heart, and I did a little bit of a darker shading right around the corners of the eyes, just to make the eyes pop a little bit, because you know your eyes are 3D and not 2D, so we want to make sure we kind of symbolize that a little bit. The last color that we're going to get into is the light pink, and we're going to do it for the arms. So we're just going to draw straight lines down towards the fingertips, like this. And when you color with colored pencils or crayons, and sometimes even markers, you can kind of tell the direction that you're coloring. So if you color up and down and then side to side, it looks a little bit messier than if you color in just one direction. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and color one direction, and I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. So I encourage you guys to do the same. We're just gonna color this other arm. Today is a pretty easy coloring day, but that doesn't mean that the story is any different. The story is still about loving Jesus and loving your neighbor as yourself. And one of the things about the story is you have to love God first, and you have to love yourself second before you can actually love others. You have to truly embrace and love who God has created you to be. And I just encourage y'all today, as you color this picture and as you keep this picture with you, and as you just go about your week, that you just think about people who you can show love to. And that doesn't mean you have to touch them or hug them. It's just maybe it's a smile or a nice word. And I really encourage y'all to do that this week. I'm so glad that y'all decided to join me. We colored a great picture today. It looks awesome, you guys. So I hope to see y'all next week, and I love each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful that y'all come and hang out with me on your Wednesdays. Bye!